Lance Mechanics here today, and I want to show the general public what you're getting for free on your vehicle and you don't even realize it. In the automotive industry, the entire industry is carried on the back of technicians by screwing us over on pay and procedures and a lot of stuff. And today I'm going to talk about that. If you're a technician, chime in the comments, because I've noticed in the last few videos, the general public is not, like, they didn't understand what we're going through, and they're seeing all our comments and going like, wow, I didn't realize things are that bad. So the more we can get out there, maybe the more we can change. So a big one, and I'm going to go through a lot of stuff here and ramble on, just coming off the top of my head. A big one is road tests. For the average person who doesn't know, if you're a good technician, any vehicle you get, even an oil change, you're going to go for a road test. That's how we find things. Noises, clunks, is your brakes pulsating, or just general stuff. We always do a road test. Biggest thing is the steering wheel. Is it crooked? That's easy. We're not paid for that. That's not included in anything. That's something a technician has to do if they want to make money or find stuff or not deal with angry customers. There's a lot of expectations on this. It's huge. We have to do it, and nobody pays us for it. The other thing is brake inspections. You bring your vehicle into a shop and you're asking for a brake inspection. Depending on how bold the dealership is or the private garage is, they may charge you, but a lot of the time they won't charge you, especially if you get the brake job. So those hours leading up to you getting a brake job on your vehicle, that technician isn't paid. The road test he did for that brake inspection, not paid for. Pulling the tires off, not paid for. And in the words of the dealer, your payment is the brake job itself. So there's zero compensation for all that diagnostic fees. It's horrible. And if there was, people would probably do brakes more often. A lot of the time, technician loses hard on that stuff. We'll do a brake inspection and customer will decline it because somebody else can do it cheaper. Boom, you throw the tires back on, you torque them, send it out. You just lost all that time. You're never getting it back. Another one is vehicle inspections. So this is kind of a salty area for me. So in the automotive industry, they combined oil changes and vehicle inspections. It's a very generic vehicle inspection, but still, we are underpaid for oil changes. Some dealerships, I heard it's 0.2. It's anywhere from 0.2 to 0.7. And if you're lucky in the high-end cars, they'll pay you 1.2. But no, they're going to pay some $14 an hour kid to do a 0.5 oil change or something like that. That's how they save money. They consider oil changes lost leaders. It gets customers into the door. Problem with lost leaders is it's not paying anybody. I absolutely hate oil changes. I'll do them because I'm good at finding work, but we lose so much on that. There's so much expected of you on an oil change. And a lot of the time, us technicians aren't paid the full amount for an oil change. So in, let's say a Honda, some of them are 0.7. I have never been paid 0.7 for an oil change. And then in the Honda guideline, inspections are anywhere from half an hour to an hour. And we're combining two things into something very, very small. Technicians get screwed over on that very, very hard. And as a customer, you guys can be very, very harsh. You'll have those little oil change sheets and oh my God, he missed a check mark. And then, oh my God, just snowballs. Another free thing we do is alignment checks. If you're in a good place, they'll pay you an alignment check, but not much. Honest to God, getting 0.3 or half an hour to put a vehicle on an alignment rack and then do the full procedure, literally 90% of it is setup and then adjustment. So that 90% is the alignment check. And then we have to wait for permission from the customer. So you know what a technician will do? And I've done this hundreds of times, is I'll just go ahead and do the alignment. And if I don't get the alignment, I lost the alignment. Whatever, I wasted my time. But you know what? A bigger waste of time is waiting for approval. That's another big thing, is approval. We have to do things 2 or 3 times sometimes. Let's say you wanted your appointment in first thing in the morning, and we get it in first thing in the morning. We have it diagnosed. We're calling you. We get no answer back. Right now, as a flat rate technician, I have your car on the hoist. We only have one hoist. The tires are off. We got parts waiting. Come on, let's go. And then another hour goes by. Okay, now we're panicking. So we're going to bolt that car back up, get it out of the shop. And you know what happens a lot of the time? The second we leave that door, you call back. We just lost that entire hour because now we got to turn the car back around, put it on the hoist, take the tires off. That is so common. Like, we do a lot of that stuff. Another thing is tire rotating. It's not a big one, but that's a big one we do for free. And here's why. You as a customer, the first thing you're going to say is, why would I pay for a tire rotate when my tires are off during a brake inspection? You know what? I am I don't disagree with it, but at the same time, if you're not paying for it, I'm not putting your tires in a different position. A lot of other techs they'll what's that word? They'll give up and they'll rotate them. Not me. That's how I made my money. I'm not providing free services. This is, it depends on the technician, but a lot of technicians will rotate those tires for free. Whatever. It's another free thing you get from some places. Another one is in a dealership. This is the dealership setting. A lot of places, and I found this at Hyundai and Kia, is we have to look up our own warranty times. And what you don't understand is when your vehicle comes in for warranty, we're not paid any administration fee. So once we do that repair, we got to spend anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes looking up a warranty op code. It's incredible. That should be a parts or a warranty department place, but because dealerships are so cheap, they put it on the mechanic because we know what we're looking for. That's a lot of administration time we pay for. And even though as a customer, you're not paying for it, we're paying for it. Another thing is we're not paid for is parts estimates. So this goes in with the road tests and vehicle inspections. As a mechanic, we're expected to send in the parts estimate or even look up the parts. That's a lengthy and time-consuming process sometimes. I remember hours and hours spent on one job one day, and I didn't get paid for it. They didn't go for it. They had all the parts. They bought the parts themselves, and they went to another garage. Just the way it goes. That is a huge loss for mechanics. Speaking of the customer thing, is I think I mentioned it, but the wait times for getting jobs done with the customer, that's huge. I'm going to bring it up multiple times because, wow, just when you're in a flat rate garage and you ignore the calls from the dealership, you're putting that technician at a disadvantage. I understand we're going to make money off you, but the dealership's going to make money, but that poor mechanic is making less because you're waiting. Or the other point of the customer call thing is, I'm going to call back and let me think about it. I need to talk to my husband. Oh my God. I hear that almost daily when I was in the automotive trade. That is, anytime I hear that, the wheels are going back on and the car is going back out. I'm telling you right now, that is like a 90% not going to get the sale kind of thing. And you're going to hear a theme in this video. Diag. Electrical diag, we are absolutely not paid for. Under warranty, customer pay. There's only so much you can do. And this is a tough one because there's days where I can find the answer in 30 minutes, or it could be 12 hours. 12 hours of exaggeration. And it depends on the tech it goes to. Sometimes techs get lucky, sometimes they don't. There's days where something that took me 4 hours, the other guy might have found in 30 minutes. That is a tough thing to do. But at the end of the day, electrical diag never ever pays a technician. It's brutal. Another thing is we don't get paid for comebacks, even though the comebacks a lot of the time aren't our fault. Let's say a noise. You hear a noise after a brake job, and it's unrelated to the brake job, and you can prove it's not related to the brake job. It's still a comeback. You're not going to get paid for it. The customer's just going to go, you did brakes, so I thought it was your problem. No, it's my problem now. Thank you. You just wasted my time. And another big time waster is road tests with customers. Honest to God, if I'm going for a road test and I want to listen for noise, I don't want to hear your life story. I remember one customer, he took me down a bypass in my city, and I was gone for an hour and a half. And he's talking gradually, and I kept telling him, dude, I'm not paid for this. Oh, of course you're paid for it. I know your service manager very well. They're going to pay you. I got back, and I was furious. I'm like, dude, if you ever do that to another technician again, personally, after this, I'm not working on your car ever again. And he was shocked. I'm like, you wasted so much of my time. I told you. And the worst part is he insisted on driving. And I'm like, no, I need to drive this vehicle. And I told him, because you insisted on driving, I felt like I was kidnapped. Like, seriously, you wasted so much of my time. I was ready to jump out that door. It's brutal. Oh. So, another thing we're not paid for is your dirty vehicle. Oh my goodness. I've had to do recalls where I got to rip out an interior, and these vehicles are so packed to the roof. And I even said, like, when these ones came back, I'm like, this vehicle needs to be clean or we're charging for it. You know what? It still came back full to the roof, and the customer didn't pull it out, and I told the service advisor, listen, we're charging for this. They never did. The vehicle, when you're not giving a crap, oh my goodness. Pulling out entire glove boxes, the backs of vehicles to get at wiring harnesses, it's not cool. That adds another extra hour or day. Child car seats is another one. Holy cow, you want to see a bunch of people get upset when you pull a car seat out? Well, we're doing a recall. Your fuel pump's under here. The car seats one is huge. And you know what? My rule of thumb is we never reinstall it. And that made a lot of people angry. Because you know what's funny? Once that car seat's in there, a lot of people don't know how to reinstall them. So, whew. Geez. Another one, this is common in the dealer, is videos. A lot of the time, the technician has to do videos now, and it could take up to 15 minutes to get everything in order and do that. We're not paid for that. That's more free stuff. You love it when you see the video in your text there and you get to see what we're selling, but the dealer's not paying the technicians to do these videos. It's more time that it's free for us, or free for them. This is more of a shop thing, but customers, you don't know this. When we work in a flat rate dealership, we're expected to keep our bays clean, and we do that for free, basically. The dealership has free cleaning crew in the form of technicians. We'll keep the shop clean. I remember one time I was pumping out so much work, and I had piles of boxes full, so we were piling boxes up to the ceiling and parts, and I was at the end of the shop, and there was no way to carry this stuff. They didn't have wheelbarrows, and I just kept piling it up. Whatever, I was getting annoyed. My service manager said, keep our bays clean, because mine was the first one there, and I made this mess on purpose, and I lost my saying, listen, I'm pumping out so much work, the least you can do is have one of these tire guys clean up the bay who are hourly. And you know what? That's a common issue in other shops. You're going to be cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, and for free. Another thing we do for free, and I was thinking about this for another video, is when we do an estimate, you know what happens with the service advisor? The first thing they do is come back to us and say, hey, can you give them a deal on labor? A lot of the times the technician will cave because they want that job. And it's crazy that the service advisors will come to the technician first and ask for a discount from us before the dealer will give them a discount on the labor rate or the parts. That's a huge one I found. And I always hated it. I always said, no, I am not giving them a discount. And they'd always walk away like, no, I'm standing my ground because the dealership can afford to give them discounts somewhere else, which doesn't affect my pay. And as apprentices, you're going to run into a lot of this stuff. I know this is a long video and I'm just ranting here, but if anybody has stories, please put them in the comments and let customers know, because seen from my last few videos here, the general public really doesn't know what goes on in the automotive industry. They think we're all, you know what? The more we talk about it, the better it's going to be. And Lance Mechanics here. If you like this, like the video, subscribe, and I'll put out more.